Welcome back from that short break, and thank you so much, Ebuka, for that Ajwaya news. So today we'll be discussing self-care and a few things about it, like what it means and why it's important. Here with me to discuss today's topic is my guest, Fatima Adetunishe Bello. So Fatima, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you.
I'm glad to have you on the show today.
It's a pleasure too.
Okay, so let's jump right into what we have to talk about today. So we'll be discussing self-care. Now, how would you define self-care in your own words?
Okay. Going by my words, the concept itself, self-care. Self, personalizing it, myself. Then care, like providing something to promote or maintain my lifestyle. So I'll say self-care is just those routine activities or let's say behaviors I put into place in order to maintain, promote, and also enhance my lifestyle, which comprises of my emotional self, physical self, and my mental health.
Okay. So, there are people out there who see, because you mentioned mental, physical, and emotional, yes? But there are people out there who see self-care as a largely physical, exercise, should I say. So, but it's so much more than that. It's mental and emotional as well, just like you said.
Of course.
So self-care varies from person to person. Some people might do yoga or maybe get a pedicure, get their hair done, read a book, or call family members, or just do something that makes them feel good. Self-care is not a one-size-fits-all type situation. So it's, what might be good for one person might not be what's good for another person.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are some of the things that you do personally for self-care? Just a few of them.
Oh, if you're going to my personal self-care routine.
So before you proceed, could you tell us like mental, physical, and emotional, just maybe one thing each?
Okay. Okay, one is peculiar to the three of it.
Okay.
It's hilarious. Sleep. I sleep a whole lot. Because whenever I'm working and I feel like, oh, this work is just getting too much or I'm getting fatigued from it, the next thing you see me do is shut down the system and go to sleep. When someone is pissing me off and it's getting my mental health messed up, I go to sleep. So I'll say sleep is the intermediary between the three.
Okay.
However, now let's go to my physical self-care. That mostly is attributed to the skincare and my aerobics, like working out. Then let's go to my mental. My mental health, honestly, there's nothing that bothers my mental health other than money. So the best thing I do is just to ensure that I do what I'm supposed to do at the right time. But emotionally, I run away from social media a lot.
Yeah.
As much as I love being online, I run away from reading news that messed up my emotions. It doesn't tamper with my mental health. I don't want us to get that. Like reading killings or something. It doesn't tamper with my mental health. But my emotion as a human, just like, oh, someone just like. So immediately I see someone already writing discretion, cancel. Oh, no. I run away from it.
Yeah,
so I'll say, basically, I sleep a whole lot. Yes, I sleep more than 8 hours in a day. That's a secret. Don't tell anybody. So, and aside that, I go for workouts. And whenever I have the time, I do exercise. And I read books, which is nice for the heart. And of course, I run away from things that mess up with my mental health.
Okay. Let me ask you now, how do you handle situations where you're not in a position to properly carry out your self-care routines? So, for example, you visit a particular spa every week to maybe get a full body massage, but you're out of town and you're not in a place where that service is offered. So what do you do to make up for that?
A very good example was 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Of course, you will not have time to go through your daily self-care routine. And in days like that, the only thing you have to do is pick up something else to do. Aside taking your regular bath, I think another thing that is very nice as an essential for you to do is smelling nice.
Oh yeah, smelling nice is very important. Yes.
So I think some people take it as probably you're exaggerating this. So in a case whereby when you were packing your load for the camp, you forgot your perfume at home, what are you going to do? Definitely, I'm going to find a way to buy another one.
Of course, because you're doing so much, physical activity.
And I know I'm going to get smelly at the head of it. So exactly, whenever you find yourself in a position whereby a thing that you're used to, a routine that you love so much, you can't continue with it or you can't do it at that meantime, I'll suggest that you look for an alternative. Yes, just like network breaking down, and you think that, oh, if I don't read this stuff, it will mess me up or something. Go buy a newspaper instead, get a book instead. So whenever you are in a position, or probably you love talking to your family almost every day, then there was a time you lost contact with them, or you could not because of a thing or the other. The best thing for you to do at that moment is to find something else doing. So you don't just jeopardize a routine because you can't afford to bring those steps together. The best is find an alternative, something else that will fit into that exact self-care routine for you. I think that should answer that.
Okay. So from all you've said, I gather that you think that self-care is something it's very important.
Yeah, it's very important, like self-love.
Okay. So can you tell us why self-care is important to you specifically?
Okay, to me. Okay, aside the fact that listening to music is good, pondering over the lyrics is nice too. Very, very important. So not every time you feel so good about yourself. However, during the lockdown, I think this song Yesterday, Every Day, Always by Tatiana came out.
Okay.
And while listening to the lyrics, I found out that there's a reason why one needs to love oneself. And to go through that journey, you need to inculcate the habit of self-care. Because when you're having a self-care time, a self-care routine, that is when you have time to ponder over yourself. What exactly is going on with my life? When you sit by the mirror and you're looking at yourself on the screen, like, Fatima, you're looking good today. What exactly made you lose this fat this week? Then at that moment, you're already trying to gather up what exactly has been going on through your life. So I see no reason why someone will ignore or neglect self-care, because no one will love you better than yourself.
That's true.
And let me go by this, my local language proverb. Sorry. Your brother said, Tony Baba she igba, no she mabashi kini, no she mabashi, which means igba is calabash. You have this ceramic that is very beautiful, but you left the kitchen and you put it at the roadside or the passage of your house. Anybody will just kick it anyhow since you're not keeping it in the right place. Same thing to your body. If you're not doing the right thing to your body, no one will do the right thing to them. I believe when you take care of your body, people will learn to take care of you yourself. So self-care is so important. To me, I love myself. That's why I sleep a lot too. So even when I need to reach deadlines, I find a way to rest, because I know definitely if man die, deadline will continue.
Okay, well said. You spoke, very, very well about that. Now, let me ask you. Let's talk about checking in with ourselves mentally. So, do you think that asking ourselves questions like, "How am I doing today? How am I feeling in this moment? Have I been treating myself right? Are the people that I'm surrounding myself with good for me?" These questions. Do you think that they're helpful? Asking yourself these questions from time to time.
Okay, like I said earlier, when you're having a self-care session, you get to review a whole lot of things about yourself. Okay, let me give you an instance. You see, when you've been trying to bring out a particular, let's say a presentation, for example, trying to work on a presentation, and then probably you had brain blocked or something, then you had a time with your mirror looking at yourself. You can hear me say mirror sense. Mirror is just like a reflection of your image. You look at yourself, for yourself, nobody telling you this is what you look, you know what you look like yourself. So at this moment, you need to ask yourself those questions. What have I been doing good? What have I been doing wrong? And that time is just like a self-confession time and a testimony time for you. You're going to reward yourself with praises. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you'll be like, "Oh, I'm looking so good. I'm so fine."
Which can be good for your self-confidence,
yes.
your self-esteem.
So at that moment, again, you can get to remember something you did wrong, and you'll be like, "No, I shouldn't do this again." So mentally, it is nice to question ourselves, but not in the midst of chaos. Definitely not. You don't question yourself when someone hurts you and be like, "Oh, why did not?" No. A time you just sit back, forget every other thing, and let it just be only you. That time you sit back and you be like, what else do I need to do to achieve this thing? Mentally, it is nice asking ourselves questions, because no one can give you an answer to your question other than you yourself. That is just me. I like the lyrics of the song. It said, nobody will love you more than you love yourself. And don't even let people love you more than you love yourself. Because when you go through changes,
yes,
we hope they will love you the same way. And you should be the only one that love yourself even when you have it or when you don't. So mentally, it's good to question ourselves.
Okay. Now, let me ask you the last question of the day.
Okay.
Is there any comments or any suggestions, any tips or advice that you'd like to give the viewers out there?
Okay, our viewers, I would say it is very important to engage ourselves in a self-care routine. Because just so you know, everything is not about work. Work and care really matters a lot. And there's this was said, all work no play make Fatima a dog girl, definitely. So I'd advise each and every one of us, as you're listening and watching us today, that try as much as possible to get a self-care routine for yourself. You can start with little things. Probably start doing your makeup yourself. You see, when you're doing your makeup yourself, you get time to talk about your scars and you fall in love with your flaws naturally. So I'd advise you, find something good to do, engage yourself in beautiful routines, inculcate beneficial behaviors that will definitely help you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Thank you, Farida.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it for today.
Yes,
thank you for that engaging discussion.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you to the Ocean State Broadcasting Corporation. Thank you to the editorial team. And finally, thank you to my viewers, without whom there would be no Ajuaya. I remain your host, Farida Sani Haliru, and until next time, remain blessed.
ìgbà wo la ṣe màsàlámà ti ya Ramadan tá a tún ti ń kọ́dún léyà ní mọ́ràbà tabarakallah bí a ṣe ń palẹ̀mọ́ ọdún léyà ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ti fi sabilillah sínú bọ́jẹ̀tì wa pẹ̀lú ṣíṣàgbátẹrù àwọn ètò tó ní láadáa lọ́dọ̀ Allah àyọkẹ́ láti inú Al-Qur'an wà ń bẹ̀ wá sí lónìrànràn fọdún léyà àwọn wo gan ló lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sẹ́ran ọdún léyà àwọn nǹkan wo ló ṣe dandan fọdún léyà tá a ti sọ dàwàdà àwọn nǹkan wo sì ní òní ládàá ṣùgbọ́n tá a ti sọ di ọ̀ranyàn fúnra wa ètò pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ lórí rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn